Hey everybody, welcome back to It's Not You, It's Me. And today we have a very unique episode. It is the day before my birthday, and we've got video content. I am currently in my hotel room. My birthday is tomorrow as of this episode, so we're just kind of enjoying a little staycation. I did want to kind of get an episode out. I have a tendency to put out an episode for my birthday, so this year's not any different. I don't necessarily have a theme for today. We're just going to scooch that back a little bit. Listen. So we had to make like a little makeshift studio because I'm in my hotel. I was gonna say Airbnb, but I'm in a hotel. I'm a little tipsy right now. I just had dinner. It was quite the dinner. There's an Italian restaurant downstairs. Top notch. Delicious. Delicious. I had some garlic bread. I had 2 martinis. I had filet mignon. And then for dessert, I had panna cotta and a little espresso, and because I hadn't really eaten today. I think this was my first meal of the day, which is crazy because like I went down to have dinner at like 5. I am a little tipsy, not drunk or anything, but a little tipsy. It's fading away though because I ate so much, so now I'm like super full and like lethargic. Welcome, guys. So I haven't done like video content since doing this podcast, and I was like, well, we'd been talking about it. Everybody's doing video content podcasts, and pretty much that's like the way things have gone. Podcasts used to like kind of just be for listening, and now podcasts are for watching and listening. So this is just the name of the game. Like you adapt, you learn, you kind of move forward with stuff. So welcome. So it's just my birthday episode. I do one every year since I started the podcast. So we're just really gonna just sit and chat for a little bit. I guess I'll talk about like how old I'm turning. I don't really have any shame in it. Like I think a lot of people like think that once you get to 30, that especially for women, we kind of try to hide our age. And I'm at a point in my life where like I thought I would be that person who was going to kind of be like, oh, I'm not 30, I'm 28, I didn't anticipate not being that person. My thing is I think that like when I turned 30, because I was so conscious of the fact that I was going to have a lot better of a time in my 30s, that I wasn't fearful of it. But it doesn't change the fact that like, obviously I feel the weight of what that means, you know? 31. 31 on 31 of March. So, it's my golden birthday. So I've been kind of like doing a little bit every day for like this past weekend. My birthday lands on a Monday, so like kind of boring, but I don't really have like a lot crazy planned for my actual birthday, mostly because like I was kind of hoping that people would like come out for my birthday, but no one's coming out for my birthday, so I'm just kind of keeping it kind of chill. Definitely wanted like a little mini staycation, so I got a hotel, and I'm in Beverly Hills. And so the last couple days, like I went to the beach, I've been doing a little bit of shopping. I went to the farmer's market today, and like obviously I spent a shit ton of money on dinner today. But I don't really treat myself out like that very often. So that was probably the most expensive dinner I've bought myself ever. And it feels appropriate because like 31 on 31, you know what I mean? Golden birthday. Sometimes you got to buy yourself a nice dinner, you know what I mean? If no one else is going to buy one for you. So there's that. Birthday plans, not a lot going on. I think I want to, if the weather allows me, which it may not, because according to the forecast, it's supposed to rain. So I think that what I will do is, if the weather permits me, I might go to the beach again. If not, I'm going to go to my favorite bookstore, walk around for a little bit, maybe buy a book or something. And then what I might do, go see a movie. I don't really have like crazy afternoon plans. I'm going to go get breakfast. I'm going to sleep in a little bit. And then I think around 8 o'clock tomorrow night, I'm going to go to this bar called the Flamingo Bar. So like I said, I live out in LA now. And so I've just been trying like local spots. This hotel in Beverly Hills that I'm in right now, super cute, historic building. Love it. I kind of wish I had gotten an extra day, only because, like when you get a hotel, you can't check in till like 4 p.m. So it would have been really nice if I could have gotten here like a lot earlier. I did have to pay a little extra for parking, but that's just life in LA. You got to pay to park pretty much everywhere. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what else I want to do tomorrow. I was actually going to go see a movie today, not tomorrow, but now that I'm a little tipsy, I'm just going to stay in. So I figured we just chat for a little bit and just talk about it. Like, am I scared about turning 31? Well, 31 is not a milestone. It's just kind of cool because my birthday is on the 31st of March. So it's just a golden birthday, That's why I wanted it to kind of be like kind of fun this year. Last year when I turned 30, I went to Nashville, the big 3-0. We bar hopped a little bit around Nashville. That was kind of cool. Probably would have been out a lot longer had my brother not been a pain in the butt. He gets overstimulated very easily, so it happens. He was a trooper, came out anyways. But this year we're keeping it simple. But yeah, so I'm not necessarily nervous about turning 31. I think it's been kind of like I don't know how to describe it. I'm not like scared of turning 31, but there's like a weight that does come with it, like the idea that like, I'm still single at 31. Well, not still single, like I was in a relationship. I've chosen to be single the last couple of years. And a lot of that was like for me, obviously, like I wanted to like have time for myself and like grow as a person. It was really important to me that I was like comfortable with myself, like alone. And, I didn't want to feel like I had to rely on anybody to be happy. So, coming to LA and like really feeling like I was where I needed to be in my life to be like happy and stuff. And like the thing is like I'm not necessarily like super crazy happy. I'm just like in a much better mental space, I suppose. But it really just depends, right? Like there are days that are a lot harder than others. That unfortunately is just the way it revolves with people who like suffer from depression anyways. It's a day by day thing, like, cause I'm out here in LA, like I don't have anybody, there's no family. I have no friends out here. I haven't been out here for a very long time. It's only been like a couple months. So, I'm still kind of like trying to get a footing and like I'm looking for like an apartment and stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to get my own place soon. I'm definitely ready for my own place for sure. Yeah. I think that when it comes to like turning, like being over the age of 30, there's still like this stigma. And I think a lot of it stems from the fact that like, especially with the kids today, like, they think anything older than the last 10 years is old. Obviously being somebody who was born in the 90s, I fit into that classification, right? And the crazy thing is like I'm still technically young. I'm just now easing myself into this in between where I'm not like young, but now I'm like a full-fledged adult, which is so funny because like I still will say things like, I need an adult present, like I'll be like, do we have an adult present? Like, I don't know, I need a chaperone. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm the chaperone because I'm the adult. I'm mostly joking, but it's definitely like weird when you like are in a workplace now and you're all the same age. Before it used to be like, oh, I was younger than everybody else. Now I work somewhere where like I only have one person in my team that's older than the rest of us. One person, probably about 10 to 20 years older than the rest of us. And then my other boss is around the same age as me. And then all my other coworkers are pretty much the same age as me, except for a couple of the ones that just got hired. They're in their 20s. So there's like 4 of us that are in our 50s, and then the rest of us are like, they're in their 20s. Feels absolutely crazy. Feels like that shouldn't. When did I become the oldest person in the room? Like, it used to be that like when I got hired, um, I was the youngest person, and now it's like kind of flip flopped. So it's definitely weird to kind of like see that, you know. And not, it's not like bad, but it is really funny because, you know, like they don't treat me like I'm older. So it's nice. You know, the other thing is like I work with all men. So like I'm the only female on our team. And for the most part, they don't, at least in regards to my age, they don't make me feel like I'm older than them. They do, however, treat me like a female. Not all the time, but a good majority of the time. I don't think they mean it in like any malicious way. They don't mean to do it like in a negative way or harmful way. Just is what it is. It kind of happens in the industry that I work in. So it doesn't make it right, but it's kind of just a reality. Yeah. So one of the crazy things about turning 31 is the fact that like I am now officially older than Friends, like the Friends were in the show Friends. Because I think the show ended when they turned 30. The last season, yeah, I believe was when they turned 30. Or I guess it was a season after that, technically. So they were like maybe my age, 31. Yeah. I'm in my final season of Friends. I use that reference a lot because Friends and I turned 30 at the same time. So that was like super cool. Rest in peace, Matthew Perry. That shit hurts every day. So 31. I don't really have much else to say about turning 31. Sorry, just another birthday, I guess, you know, like not like crazy upset about it. It's definitely weird though. I was sitting at dinner today and when I tell you I'm full, I'm full. Like I ate so much. Oh my God. So I was eating my dessert and there was supposed to be a party of 8 that was like sitting at the tables behind me. So like they came after I had ordered my dessert, and I guess it was a family that was celebrating like their parents' anniversary. It was like an older couple, like an older couple. And they came and sat down, and they were waiting on like 2 more people to show up, and they were talking, and I'm listening to like this older gentleman, the gentleman that's the husband of the couple that they're celebrating, and he's talking about like st- I don't mean this in a negative way, but they're talking about old people stuff. They're like he's talking about like, you know, how he's had to like get used to using the walker, and he's been essentially kind of training himself off of the walker to like use it less and stuff. And I'm like listening to them talk, I'm listening to him talk about this walker situation, and I'm like, my goodness, like I can't imagine myself at this age where my conversation is immediately, yeah, so I've been like, you know, using the walker 20% less. And, you know, and I just think like, is this what it's like to get like old? You know, it can't be. I think it is for some people. I think that like you get to a certain age, you know, like that's just kind of like your reality. But, you know, I think about listening to him, you know, it made me kind of emotional, not just because like my own birthday is like tomorrow, but, you know, because I was thinking about my grandfather, and they were celebrating, you know, their marriage. And I was thinking about the last time I celebrated my grandparents' anniversary. And it like got me really emotional because I was like, I'll never get to do that again. Like this dinner that they're having downstairs for their parents who are like in their 80s, like I'll never get to do that with my grandparents again because my grandfather's not here anymore. It's like stuff that you kind of like take for granted, you know? With my birthday coming up, I've like caught myself a lot more these last few days thinking about my grandfather and how like I kind of wish he was here, and you know like what we would talk about and stuff, you know, like them sitting behind me, you know, just it gets you really thinking about stuff like that. You know, you really gotta not take for granted the people that you have around you, like your family, you know, the people that you care about, because it changes all the time. So, you know, like that got me a little teary. It didn't help that I'd been drinking. It did not help that I had been drinking. Tis what it is, you know? Yeah. 31, what a time to be alive. You know, you really start to like think about, you know, like the things that you've kind of like gone through. And I won't get into politics and stuff like that because, you know, we try to avoid that here on this podcast. The idea, though, that like as a millennial, we've gone through some shit. We've seen some shit, you know? Like we've lived through weird shit, you know? Like just some weird times, and we've got some more weird times to come, I imagine. And it kind of almost feels like everything was kind of a lie. It doesn't make sense. Like, you know, my dad was 22 when he married my mom. You know, they bought a house when I was like 5. So he was like 26. My mom was 30 something. And, you know, they were able to do it because like my dad is a vet, you know, obviously had a loan from the VA. So they were able to buy a house. And at the time, the house, I believe, don't quote me, was 86K. So a steal, you know, of course, back then it was technically worth, in today's money, that would have been a lot more than that. But, you know, moved into the house when I was about 5 years old, and years my parents like didn't have money. They worked really hard, and my dad had like 3 jobs. My mom had like 2 for a little while, and they made it work. But today it's 10 times harder. Like, I'm about my mom's age when they bought the house, our first house, and I can't afford a house. I mean, technically they couldn't have afforded it either if it hadn't been for, you know, the VA loan, I suppose. But I mean, even still, like, you know, my best friend's parents, like, they bought a house, and, you know, like, they raised their kids in a house and all this other stuff. And, like, you know, my cousins, like, their parent, like, my aunt and uncle, they bought a house around the same, well, before my parents bought their house. And, you know, like, they were buying houses. And, like, you look at it today and it's just impossible. There's just no way that I could afford a house by myself. I mean, I live in LA, and like the cost of rent is like astronomical, dude. Like it's like 8 for a studio or 1 bedroom apartment, and that's before you even start paying for utilities, you know? And that's on the low end of what the rent looks like here. The requirements are kind of absolutely insane because they expect you to have like a 700 credit score. They expect you to make 3 times the rent, and there's like all these caveats that come with it. And then you look at like the fact that, you know, there's a massive population here, and you think, well, of course, like there are so many homeless people because like you make it so incredibly difficult for anyone to qualify for an apartment. An apartment. You know what I mean? So imagine you're trying to like get a house. Like getting a house is easier than getting an apartment. There's no way that that makes sense. So, you know, but hopefully I get my own place soon. I'm definitely ready for my own place. I definitely don't want to live where I'm currently living right now. Um, it's just, there's a lot of like drama, you know, that I'd like to avoid living where I live, just because when you live with so many people, drama does tend to like ensue, you know? But yeah, also I'm just too old to be living with that many people. I'm at this point in my life where I'm like, I don't want roommates. You know what I mean? Like I don't want roommates. Hard pass. Oh my goodness. But yeah. But c'est la vie, right? So here we are, and it's the day before my birthday. Just chilling by myself in a nice little hotel. I'm sobering up way too quickly, so I may have to go out and get more drinks. I'm just kidding. Not really. So yeah, I did want to talk about a couple things really quick while I have you guys. How long have we been recording? Let's find out. 27 minutes. That's not bad. We can cut that down a little bit. All right, so with my birthday coming up, I look fucking exhausted, guys. It has been a time to be alive these last few weeks. So I don't know if you guys remember. And she nice. Look at it. Nice, nice, nice. So it's on pre-order. You can go ahead on barnesandnoble.com. You can go on amazon.com as well. Links in the description below. Please, please, please support. This took forever to finish, and it's so interesting because like I kind of briefly talked about it in the last episode, but like how like, you know, some authors can like push out books like no one's business. They do this as a full-time job. I do not. And the thing is like, you know, if you have nothing but time to like sit down and like push it out, and you have like a publishing house that's like working on the editing and shit, then it's super easy. Did this all myself. So it was super interesting because like I showed this to my coworker for the first time the other day, and he was like looking at it and he goes, who did the cover for you? And I was like, me. I did the cover. Me. Yeah, bitch. I designed that cover. Moi. So I am really excited that this is finally going to be out. It officially releases April 20th. It is on pre-order. BarnesandNoble.com, Amazon.com. Please, please, please show me some love and go support. Also, I do have a Patreon now. So if you guys want some exclusive content moving forward, patreon.com. So please go sign up, become a member. We're going to have some really interesting things come up over the next few weeks. So I'm going to try to keep it exciting for you guys. One of the things that I'm going to do for the Patreon members, if you go ahead and join, is I'm going to do a little reading of my book. I'm going to do a little reading. I'm going to pick a chapter, one whole chapter, and I'm going to read it to you guys. Okay. If we can get enough love and support, I might be able to actually get an audio recording book, an audio book of this out, which would be great since I have, a hardcover, an ebook, and a paperback edition available on both Barnes & Noble and Amazon. So it's available on Nook and Kindle and Google Play and Apple Books. Google Play and Apple Books are not out just yet. Bear with me. We've been having some issues with specifically Apple Books. I don't know why they're giving me such a hard time, but they're giving me a hard time right now. But Google Play will be out April 20th. Hopefully we'll get Apple Books out on time, but they've been giving me quite a little bit of pushback because they've been having, I don't know if it's like on our end where like it's been glitching out, but it's been glitching out. So we haven't been able to like upload any files yet. So we're hoping to get that settled. Do I recommend paperback or hardback? It depends on your preference. My dad loves hardbacks. I do love hardbacks, but I love hardbacks for copies, if that makes sense. Like I'll use a hardback, goes on my bookshelf. Softbacks are good if you're traveling, if you're traveling. Softbacks are really good for like travel purposes because they're good to like go places. When it comes to like hardcovers, I don't like to travel with hardback books because I have to take the sleeve off because the sleeve has a tendency to get in the way of things. Plus, you don't want to get it dirty and it's a whole thing. So I usually take the sleeve off the book, whole thing, right? That's why my hardcovers usually stay at home. So I recommend softback if you think that you're going to take it to a coffee shop to read, if you're going to take it on a plane, if you're going to go on vacation with it. If you think you might spill your coffee on it, get a softback. With the hardcover, I feel like most people don't want to spend the extra money on a hardcover anyways. I do have a hardback available because duh. But I get the soft cover purchase. A lot of my books are on soft cover. The only time I ever really purchase hardcover editions is if I know I'm getting first edition cover, like copies. If they're no longer offering first edition and I've missed out on the first editions, I'm getting paperback. All my Harry Potter books, first edition. Hunger Games, first edition. A lot of the other J.K. Rowling books I have first edition. I would say 9 times out of 10, my first editions are all hardcover. I have very, very, very few first editions that are paperback because like first edition paperbacks are not typically like worth a lot of money. So my thing is like I'm not going to sell my first editions. Like my first editions are for me. But like first editions used to mean something to people. It still means something to like people like my dad and I. First editions are still like in like the reading community, like the book community, like it still holds weight to something. But the like general population, they don't fucking care about first editions. But obviously like right now we've got first editions out. So feel free to pick and choose. Obviously the paperback is going to be a little bit cheaper than the hardcover. Doesn't matter which one you get. I mean, it's the same story. So if you choose to get the paperback, obviously go ahead and get the paperback. It won't hurt my feelings. Hardcover's there as an option if you so choose. Maybe if you want 2 copies, get both. I don't know. And then, obviously like the ebook is going to be 10 times cheaper than a physical copy. I will tell you this. The Nook version, way cheaper than the Kindle version. Sorry. Just the way the cookie crumbles. All right. Sorry. not sorry. It's not because like that I wanted that to happen. Like it happened that way because Barnes and Noble is the company that is pushing my books out. So they're going to be at a cheaper rate than the Kindle version because Barnes and Noble is my main platform, if that makes sense. So it's a little bit cheaper. Also, it's higher quality. I'm going to be so honest with you. Amazon is going to be sending out, if you purchase my book on Amazon, it's only available in paperback and Kindle, not a hardcover copy. If you want a hardcover copy, you got to go to Barnes and Noble. That being said, I'm going to tell you this right now. Full disclosure, I personally think the Barnes and Noble copy is a little bit of a higher quality. Don't know why that is. This is a Barnes and Noble copy. This was a proof that I had sent out to me. So this is virtually what the book is going to look like, down to the paper and everything. It's a little bent because I took it to the beach. So it's a little bent. I mean, in terms of like quality, it's a lot better in my opinion. I don't know. Hey there. So listen, when I was recording that video on my birthday, my laptop died. So I didn't get to finish recording, but if you guys stayed to the end, thank you so much for watching, for listening. I really appreciate it. Fortunately, my laptop did die when I was recording that episode. It's now been officially like a week since my birthday. I'm a week into being 31, so thanks for that. I do just want to couple housekeeping things. I do want to just let you know that, again, book release April 20th, pre-order right now. Thanks for listening to me ramble about that. I'm sober today. So here's the thing. I now have an affiliate partner. Just a really quick right here at the end, since I just got it, I'm going to do a little, I'm going to say my piece about it. And then, you're going to hear a little bit more about that going forward. But I just want to let you know that I do have an affiliate partner with Riverside. Riverside does allow me to edit and record and essentially export all of my podcast needs. They are fabulous with the way they house all your projects in your studio. They do pretty much everything you need. They pretty much have everything that you might need to get your podcast up and going. So I did just want to let you know I do have an affiliate partnership with them now. I'm looking a little haggard today because it's been a day. Okay. But I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you are interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe you're looking to switch platforms. I will provide the link in the description below for you to check out Riverside and see what they have to offer. I highly recommend. When Spotify kind of moved over to Riverside, I was a little hesitant. I was like, I don't know, because change is like funky, and then I realized, honestly, Riverside kind of is a little bit more user friendly in terms of allowing me a little bit more production creativity. And so I think that if you're looking to go ahead and get started in your podcast career or whatever, I recommend it. So definitely check them out. Check out using the link in the description below. Also, I will make sure I do provide that link for my book on pre-order. And I will see you guys next time.